You know, finding your personal style can be frustrating because it takes time, it takes patience. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to put in the work. Fortunately for us, there is a way to speed up that process. I'm going to give you 3 examples of great master painters that had amazing style in their art. And all 3 of them were plein air painters. If I don't talk about your favorite artist, go ahead and drop it in the comments and also share with us what you love about their style. I'm gonna get set up here to paint, and then we're gonna talk about style. I'm going with a small painting today. I don't have a lot of time to paint today. It is, I think, 7:30 in the morning, and I have to be finished and packed up by 9.
When you're painting outdoors, you don't have time to overthink. The light changes, the shadows move, so you have to respond quickly. Plein air painting forces you to make fast, authentic decisions. The urgency strips away perfectionism. You're left with bold, instinctive choices. Your brushwork, your palette, your interpretation of the scene. That's where your style lives and what you do under pressure. Look at Vincent Van Gogh. He painted outdoors constantly. He didn't fuss endlessly, he attacked the canvas. That's how those expressive, thick brushstrokes became his signature. The landscape made him move fast, and that speed helped shape who he was as an artist. It was chaos mixed with bold color, distinctively Van Gogh. When painting in plein air, you automatically learn to focus on what you see. Nature gives you everything: shapes, color, details, but you can't capture it all. So, plein air painting forces you to ask, what matters most? You don't have the time to sit and fuss over every little detail like you would in a studio. You're forced to choose what to focus on. Do you focus on the way the light hits a tree, the mood in the sky, the subtle color variations in a shadow? Those choices are the blueprint of your style. Singer Sargent, for example, was a master of picking just the essentials. He painted complex scenes, but with absolute clarity. His plein air works often showed just enough: light bouncing off a wall or a figure half lost in a shadow. But all his decisions are uniquely Sargent. You can almost view the world through his selective eye. When you paint outdoors regularly, you naturally build invaluable experience, brushstroke after brushstroke. Repetition builds confidence and clarity. That repetition creates rhythm. You start noticing patterns in how you paint and what excites you as an individual. Look at Peter Brown, better known as Pete the Street. He's the only artist in these examples that's still alive, but he is a master plein air painter. He paints exclusively on location, in real time, surrounded by the noise, weather, and the motion of everyday city life. Rain, snow, crowds, he's out there with his easel, capturing it all in the moment. That kind of commitment has made his brushwork bold, fast, and unmistakably his. Over years of repetition, Peter Brown didn't just become a better painter, he carved out a personal style that couldn't have come from the studio alone. So if you're an artist and you're looking for a way to speed up the process of finding your own style, it's really kind of simple. You just have to get outside. You have to go paint in plein air. And you have to put in the work. There's really no easy way around it, but plein air painting can help you get there faster. I'll be honest, my art's still changing, and I hope it always does. But something shifted once I started painting outside regularly. Before plein air, I'd overwork things, I'd get stuck in my head, trying to perfect every little detail. I mean, it was nothing for me to spend 20 hours on a painting and still feel unhappy with it. There was always this feeling that I could do it better, and nothing ever felt satisfying or fully finished. But outdoors, you just can't spend that kind of time on a painting, and eventually you begin to appreciate the painting process for what it is. You start to see beauty and spontaneity, and weirdly feel more satisfied with something you put less time and effort into. I think that's because it feels more honest. It's messy, but it's real. That pressure brought out my uniqueness. I started noticing little patterns, like how I simplify shapes, or I simplify the scene, or the kinds of colors that I keep reaching for naturally. Not because I planned it, but because they feel right to me as an individual when I'm painting on the spot. That's what's helping me discover my style. Not the style I think I'm supposed to have, but what is really, truly me. And the more I do this, the more confident I feel making bolder choices. I've learned to trust my gut more. Even if the painting doesn't turn out perfect, it's okay. It's mine. It's real. And that makes me excited to keep going. So yeah, my art's still evolving, but plein air painting, it's speeding up the process. I'm no master yet, certainly not a Sargent or a Peter Brown, but maybe I can follow them down the path they took. Not by forcing it, but by finding who I am naturally as an artist. And you can too.
It's a really bright pink on the opposite shore. Kind of cool. Now I'm seeing some light in the water, right, coming right up to the shadow line. So a little bit lighter, like right in this area. A bit darker here as it goes into shadow. Ooh, I like that. It just kind of pops out from the back. And then I'm gonna desaturate just a little bit. There are shrubs and bushes along the line of the river, and I want the focal point to be the river, so and that pop of blue coming through. So I'm going to avoid, I started to put in bushes here, but I'm going to avoid that. I'm just going to focus on the river. Now we have more of a bluish violet for the shadow area. I've been out here about an hour and a half and I'm out of time, so I gotta run. Okay, so I brought this painting home and there was a couple areas that was bothering me, so I went ahead and did a couple quick touch-ups. Over here in the trees, it was really bothering me that it was more of a yellowish white color, and I wanted the trees to glow a little bit more, so I warmed them up so that they're a little bit more orangey. I also put some dark along under the tree line in the distance, and then that distant, the riverbank on the other side of the river, I added even more pink to it so that it really pops out there. Anyway, oh yeah, and then I touched up, I just softened up some of the trees in the distance because it looked like there was too much texture there, and so they kind of came forward, and I wanted to push those back a bit. Maybe not a masterpiece, but it is all my own. Give you a close-up of the texture. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna call this one finished and move on to the next one.